Welcome back. I'm still in my park. Many people ask me during my times in physics, who is your favourite physicist? And always I answer like many people, Albert Einstein. I have some kind of feature in common with Einstein. In fact, in my university in Shanghai, some of the people call me Einstein. But then I thought deeply, who is my favourite scientist? And I came to the answer, my favourite is Galileo, working in Italy about 400 years ago. About that time, telescopes were being invented, being discussed. And Galileo heard the discussions and made himself a very simple telescope. It was probably advanced in those days, but it's simple now, and you can buy one for $50, I think. He made a telescope, had a magnification of about 20, very modest. And he went out in Italy, I think he was in Florence, and he looked at the night sky, and he saw 4 stars close to Jupiter. That's what he could call them at the time. He had no idea what else they could be. He went out every night for 11 nights in a row, and he looked at those 4 stars, and he saw them moving. And he did what was probably the first piece of real physics. He wrote down what he was doing. Every night he wrote down the position of these so-called 4 stars, but he knows stars do not move. He began to understand they're not stars. It was difficult at the time, 400 years ago, to understand there were moons, and that Jupiter has 4 moons. Now we know Jupiter has about 80 moons. At that time, it was known that Earth had 1 moon. It was not understood that other planets have moons. So he measured the position every night, and he plotted the path of these moons around Jupiter. And he's thinking in his head, this is the interesting part, the small objects move around the large objects. The moons circulate Venus, Jupiter. But at the time, the thinking, mainly from the church, the Catholic Church, was that the Earth was at the centre of the universe. That means the sun went around the Earth. And this was not easy to understand for Galileo. He did get in a fight with the church. His views in the end were accepted, but he got in a fight. He was house arrested for the rest of his life. Not so bad in a villa in Italy. One of his contemporaries at the time, a man named Bruno, with similar thinking, he was executed by being burnt alive. But that was a brave thought, and it changed our view of everything. It was hard to understand and make a pattern of how everything could go around the Earth. It became very simple physics when you realise that the small object goes around the big one, as he's seen with the moons of Jupiter. He is my favourite scientist. Thank you.